Alright guys, thought I'd take a quick little opportunity here to make a video to kind of show you what I like to throw and what I've been throwing lately when I've been out on the water. I know some of you guys have asked me to make this video, so let's get right into it. Alright, so I would say 60 or 70% of the time I'm throwing some sort of a jig, normally on a paddle tail grub. This is your paddle tail grub, you know, it's just your standard. This is what I like to throw. I throw them in all shapes, sizes, and colors. You know, from your saltwater assassins to your redfish magics. You know, these are great. One I really like a bunch is your D.O.A callies. You know, everybody knows about these. These are great baits. But one in particular that I'm really starting to get a liking to, and I'm using more and more, is the Slayer ink baits. They're made locally. They're made in Jacksonville, Florida, which is kind of good, you know, because I can buy them locally and they're close. And I like to support a local business. But these particular ones right here, they look a little like this. This is your, I believe this one's the baby bass color. But these put off a ton of vibration. They kick a lot more than, say, your D.O.A callies, your basswater, saltwater assassins. These just have a lot more action. You know, this tail right here, it just throws off a wake. And I mean, you can really tell. You can see your rod tip. It's just a flickering back and forth when you're using these. These put off a bunch. They come in two different sizes. I don't know if this camera's picking this up or not, but this is your 4-inch version and this is your 3-inch version. Typically on the 4-inch version, I like to use these on a weighted swim hook, normally like your owner's twist type in. I like to use these when I'm, you know, fishing over oyster bars or when I'm throwing up near grass. This just tends to not get hung up as much, and I've caught a ton of fish on it. The smaller version, you know, these are great. I love these too, but typically I throw these on a jig head. I like to throw these pretty much anywhere that I'm going to throw the other one too. You know, this one just typically, you know, gets hung a lot more, you know, because, you know, like I said, I'm fishing over grass or I'm fishing in the oyster bed. So these right here, you know, great bait. And here again, you know, Slayer ink, if you don't know about them, check them out. I'm telling you, these things work. I keep it pretty simple on the colors. You know, everybody's like, oh man, you know, color's everything. And to me, color is not so much as, you know, something that I really put a lot of emphasis on. But I do like to use chartreuse tails a lot of the times. And it's just a confidence thing for me. Does it help? Does it make things better? Do I get more bites? I don't know. It's just something I have confidence in, and if you don't have confidence in something, you're not going to throw it. I like all combination of this right here. You know, is your pearl with your black and silver glitter in it with your green tail. The trout eat these up. This particular one's, you know, soft plastic, real soft. These are your bass assassins. These are really good. Another color that I like to throw in the river a lot is the root beer with the chartreuse tail. The darker stained water, I typically get more bites on these. And it's just something that I use and I have confidence in. Black and chartreuse, here again, darker water, you know, when it's stained, I like to throw, you know, a color like this. I just feel like I get more bites, and it's just something I have confidence in. If you've been fishing any length of time, you know the new penny's kind of a staple color. You know, here again, chartreuse tail. Does it help me get more bites? I don't know. It's just a confidence thing. The tried and true electric chicken. If you fish for any period of time, you've either used it or you've heard of it. This thing just catches fish, man. It has been around for years and years and years, and the people just use them because, hey, they work. Another color that I like is the fire tiger, the greenback with the orange tail. I use these a lot actually during striper. When the stripers are in real good, these things will catch a striper. And, you know, also I use the curly tail ones, you know, when I want to slow it down and you know, and just really slow on the bottom and keep it on the bottom, I typically like to use a curly tail. That's basically the colors, you know, that I like to use. I mean, it's no rocket scientist, you know. I mean, I keep it natural. You know, you got your natural, like your mullet colors and stuff. And I keep it natural, you know, your silver mullets when I'm in clear water. And when I'm in stained water, I like to throw something with a chartreuse tail. Alright, another bait that I like to throw is, here again, it's a jig, but it's got basically a spinnerbait on it. I'm a basswater angler at heart. I've always been a freshwater guy, and, you know, up until recently I've just really started to take a liking to saltwater, and I've kind of got out of the bass scene. But this is kind of like at home for me, because to me it's like throwing a spinnerbait, and I have a lot of confidence in this. I've caught a lot of fish on this bait. I like to catch, I like to throw this a lot, you know, like when the water's, when I'm wanting to cover water, so to speak, when I'm trying to get out there and I'm just trying to, you know, locate fish. This is a good locator, because I can, you know, I can keep this, you know, moving along, and you know, normally the fish will tell on themselves with a bait like this. To me, this is my search bait. I like the Redfish Magic brand. You know, there's different kinds. You know, these are ones I bought these from Academy. These are like, they're a little cheaper. They're the same thing. I think I paid $1.99 for these. So check these out at Academy. You know, you can get these cheap. Another bait that a lot of people are going to laugh at, but I throw a bunch, is the popping cork with the D.O.A shrimp. A lot of people call it a Taurus rig. You know, it is very, very simple. Anybody can use these. If you got small kids, you want them to go out and try artificial, you know, you don't want to have to sit there and keep tying on live bait, look into these, no doubt. Throw it out, pop it a couple of times, let it sink. You know, the cork makes all the noise and everything, and you know, if the redfish or trout in the area, they're going to come over and take a look at it. When they see that little shrimp dangling there on the bottom, it's going under. As a matter of fact, the latest video I just did, I used one of these, but instead of using a D.O.A shrimp, I used a Gulp shrimp. And you know, it's something that I'm starting to gain more confidence in, is these Gulp baits. You know, I typically never really use the shrimp, so to speak, as much as the swimming mullet. I've always liked the swimming mullet, and when I'm targeting flounder, that's normally what I'm throwing, is a combination of either a chartreuse, the pink, and the white swimming mullet. That's just colors that I tend to have the best luck on, and I just catch fish on them. And but typically lately I've been throwing these, the shrimp, more, and I'm getting hookups on them, and I'm really starting to build a lot of confidence in these. And a lot of people don't like these because, you know, the packs and everything, when if the juice goes out, the little magic sauce or whatever's in it, they typically dry out and they'll just ruin the bait. The juice in this really stinks, okay, and you don't want to spill this all over you. You don't want to get it all over your boat or all over your clothes. It's just, you don't want it. So typically, you know, a lot of people that use these, you know, we all, you know, the guys that really use Gulp, we all try to figure out ways to make these baits better. A lot of people buy the tubs, you know, and everything, and I was buying the tubs, but I found that buying the tubs, I was still having a lot of leaks, because over time they just don't seal. They don't seal. So what I came up with, and what I had read, and I looked at some other YouTube videos, and I did some research on my own, is these Plano liquid bait carriers. These right here, I mean, I use these a lot. I mean, I got several containers of these, and what I do is I just put the Gulp Alive juice inside of these, and basically just throw my baits in there. You can mix all of them. You can mix, you know, you can mix your chartreuse, your new penny, your naturals. You can mix them all together. They're not going to fade. They're not going to run on each other. So these typical ones right here, I've had these for over a year. I haven't had any leaks. You know, they'll stack on each other, you know, so when you're in your boat, I use them, like I got a little Tupperware thing that I put these in as well, just for added precaution. I haven't had them leak, but you know, they just stack on top of one another. They're convenient, and then when you need them, you know, you just open them up, take your bait out, and you're ready to go. So I like these. Like I said, I mean, I kind of, you know, I keep my shrimp in one, and I keep some of the shrimp and the swimming mullets in these. So again, you know, this is all the shrimp that I was talking about. This is your D.O.A shrimp. This is what a lot of times what I like to use on the popping cork. It just works. And a lot of times, you know, you can throw this, especially if you got some slack water, you can throw this and just kind of, you know, just slow retrieve it back, you know, make it look like, you know, shrimp don't bounce a bunch. Just kind of slow, you know, just move it slow and make it swim across. You will get bit on these. These D.O.As are a staple in a lot of people's tackle box, and for good reason. They catch fish. Alright, so jig heads. You know, everybody has their own favorite jig head, and I'm no different. These are my favorite ones. These are the Redfish Magic, I can't even talk today. The Redfish Magic Strike King jig heads. I use mine in 1/4 ounce. A lot of people are going to be like, man, you know, 1/8 ounce is what a lot of people prefer, but in my particular area, the current is really strong. And you know, when it's moving, I mean, we have 7 to 8 foot tidal swings here, so the water gets out of there in a hurry, and I need something that I can stay on the bottom with. So in saying that, I like to use in 1/4 ounce. I keep it real simple. I use red, white, and I don't have any more at the moment, but the chartreuse, I mean, they look like this. This is a chartreuse head right here. So I use them. I do have some 1/8 ounce ones. You know, when the water is slack, you know, sometimes I will tone it down. But for the most part, I like to use a 1/4 ounce because I want to be making contact with the bottom. That's where the fish are at. That's where I'm getting bit. That's where I want to be. A lot of times when I'm throwing the grubs, you know, like with the gulp, there's an attractant. I've been using this for a while. Does it help me get more bites? It could be all in my head, but I feel that it does. And what it is it's just a gel. It comes out in a little tube. I'll show you what it looks like here. If I can get it open here. It's basically just a little tube. It's got a little indicator on it, and you just run it down your bait, okay? And it will wear off. You got to keep reapplying it, but it just, to me, it just adds a little extra something, a little smell. You know, like I said, this could be catching me instead of the fish, but sometimes I just feel like this is getting me more bites when nothing else is. So, you know, for the most part, guys, that's what I throw. I keep it real basic. You know, I do like to throw a jerk bait from time to time. I do throw top water plugs, and I'll cover them in another video. But I do typically throw hard baits, but most of the time I'm throwing what I showed you. And like I said, I keep it real simple. I have a really small boat, so I try not to have a lot of tackle on my boat that's going to be all in my way. I know when I had a Triton bass boat, it wasn't so much of a problem, but I would carry 10 rods with me. I'd have 15 tackle boxes in the boat, man, and it's just, I always said when I went to saltwater I was going to keep it simple, and that's what I'm trying to do. I got one tackle box that I take with me with a variety of colors. Like I said, I'm throwing jigs, you know, most of the time. I'm throwing the gulp shrimp or the swimming mullet, so I keep it real simple. So it's not a science. You know, you just got to fish what you're confident in, and at the end of the day, that's all that matters. So I hope this helps. Like I said, it's the first time I've done a video like this, so bear with me. Don't laugh at me too much. But, you know, that's what I throw, guys, and I hope this helped you. All right, tight lines.